A nurse is applying ultraviolet light to babies in 1927. Woodbury Forest Gymnasium team, prep school gymnasts from Orange, Virginia, around 1910. It might be hard to see, but those are two of the steel struts of the Eiffel Tower, early in its construction. It's at Champ de Mars in 1887. Pilots were pleased about their victory during the Marshall Islands attack. They're grinning across the tail of an F-6F Hellcat on board the USS Lexington. They shot down 17 out of 20 Japanese planes heading for Tarawa in 1943. Okay, here we go. A man named George Washington is being carved into Mount Rushmore. The Los Angeles development boom of the 1950s. People lining up to see the first film. The English Channel. These American soldiers were photographed aboard a Navy LCI, that's Landing Craft Infantry, on their way to the invasion coast of France in 1944. Okay, here we go. Redlands Fire Department group photo, 1958. Sophia Loren, around 1955. Chief Thomas K. Yallop of Toppenish, Washington, chief of the Yakima Indian Tribal Council, visits his son Corporal Bill Yallop, who was in training with an Army Armored unit at the Yakima Firing Center. Snow on Capitol Hill, 1943. Fidel Castro during that same 1959 visit, laying a wreath at the Lincoln Memorial. Vice President Nelson Rockefeller flips off a crowd of young hecklers in Binghamton, New York, on September 16, 1976. Alright, so, we're talking about a Mardi Gras celebration from 1935 at Venice Beach, which is in Los Angeles, California. Parents taking their baby ice skating in the 1930s. Awkward family photo, Victorian edition. A family poses. The father is a man. The mother is a woman. There are 6 children. The setting is outdoors. The family wears Victorian-era clothing. The father is holding a small dog. The children are arranged in rows. The family is standing in a garden. Alright, here we go. Lonesome Valley Trestle with a train. It's connecting Knoxville to Middlesbrough, Kentucky. This is in Claiborne County, Tennessee, in 1892. Sleeping Giant. Sao Paulo, Brazil, February 1st, 1974. Rescue of survivors from the roof of the Yolma building after the worst high-rise fire in history. President Truman is triumphantly holding up a premature Chicago Daily Tribune headline. The headline incorrectly declares his opponent, Thomas Dewey, the winner of the 1948 US presidential election. A young man in the 1880s lost his nose. It was due to severe syphilis. Eustace the Mouse is held by a British crew member on board the LCT 947 craft in Normandy, France, in 1944. Howard Carter is peering through the doors of Tutankhamun's shrine after he uncovered it in January 1924. A group of Havana schoolboys in 1937, the boy with the lollipop is Fidel Castro. This is what a real-deal, true-to-life muffin man looked like in 1930s London. Magdalene asylums, also known as Magdalene laundries. They were places of reform for women that didn't fit the idea of a good, upstanding citizen. A young Berber girl with her traditional regalia from the Ould Nail tribe, Algeria, North Africa. Photography by Leonard Landrock, 1905. A friend steadies a woman in a swimsuit, performing a headstand on a sandy lakeside beach. Summer, United States of America, around 1938. An amphibious vehicle at a United States military equipment exhibition during World War II. Two young girls are playing with a dollhouse sometime between 1850s and 1860s. A Korean War orphan in 1950. The war separated numerous family members from each other. With the peninsula still divided, most have died without ever being reunited with their relatives. The fourth bridge under construction. Enos the chimpanzee lies in his fight couch before being inserted into NASA's Mercury Atlas V space capsule. In it, he would become the first primate to orbit the Earth on November 29, 1961. Girls on a Homemade Swing, Southam Street, Kensington, 1958. Cowboys enjoy drinks at the Equity Bar in Old Tascosa, Texas, 1907. Downton Abbey star Dame Maggie Smith looks unrecognisable as she poses on the beach in polka dots in 1965. Mary Quant, a British fashion designer and creator of the miniskirt. April 1939, Miami Beach, Florida, home in a wealthy residential section. A young girl has a cleft lip. Her jaw and teeth are visible. This was sometime between 1890 and the 1910s. First grader Gail Etienne is escorted by United States federal marshals to a grade school that's being guarded by city police on the first day of school integration, by order of the federal court. New Orleans, Louisiana, 1960. Queen Elizabeth's dollhouse was as big as, well, a house. She was gifted it in 1933 by the fine people of Wales. It's also still around today. Katharina Detzel, a mentally ill patient, built a man out of straw in her bed, 1910. Responding to a lack of homes with outdoor space, people began outfitting windows with infant-sized cages for babies to hang out in, 1934. Japanese prisoners of war at Guam with bowed heads after hearing Emperor Hirohito make the announcement of Japan's unconditional surrender, 1945. A boatload of soldiers aboard a liner arrives in New York City from the Pacific Front, United States, around October 1945. Topsy, the elephant is electrocuted with 6,600 volts on January 4th, 1903 at the construction site of Luna Park, Coney Island, as part of a publicity event for the park's upcoming opening. Leda and the Swan, 1920s. Alright, let's get started. Here we have Witches from 1875. An American model is demonstrating a portable reading aid in the 1940s. A man stands next to a giant redwood tree in California, 1909. Japanese Emperor Hirohito inspects his military's acoustic aircraft locators. These were used to detect planes by the sounds of their engines during the days before radar. This happened sometime prior to the end of World War II. During the construction of the Golden Gate Bridge in the 1930s, a safety net was installed to catch workers who fell. The elevator is shown at the first level of the Eiffel Tower during its construction. Okay, I'll transcribe that for you. Gaz TR Arrow, 1954. A snow roller, around 1910. It was used to compact the snow so that horses and sleighs could navigate the roads easier. Okay, here we go. There's a photo of skateboarders in San Francisco, 1977. Jack Dempsey, Harry Houdini and Benny Leonard, around the 1920s. USS Trout, SS-202, 1942. After delivering ammo to the Philippines, the sub carried 20 tons of gold and silver as ballast during its return to Pearl Harbor. It sank a Japanese freighter and patrol boat en route. Okay, here we go. Vladimir Putin and his childhood friends, 1969. a police dog on duty in a sidecar in the 1930s. The Raffle Brothers in front of the first Arby's, Boardman, Ohio, 1964. A glimpse into everyday life, capturing the essence of an era, circa 1900. The relocation of Abu Simbel, 1964 to 1968. These temples were going to be flooded thanks to the construction of the Aswan Dam. Hot dog stand in North End, Boston, 1937. Ancient ruins in the Canon de Chell, New Mexico, 1873. Pope Paul VI looks over St. Peter's Square, which is filled with nearly 500,000 people. They're listening to his Easter message on Easter Sunday, April 10th, 1966. Children in Ballroom Dancing Class, 1945. A tearful Beatle lover pleads unsuccessfully with a policeman to carry her fan button to Ringo at a Beatles concert on September 4th, 1964. Inventor Charles S.L. Baker and his assistant are demonstrating a heating and radiator system. It's showing off some early advancements in home heating technology. The year is 1906. In the 1890s, there are 3 women on bicycles in Helsinki, Finland. "13 magicians gather around a chair. On the chair are a portrait of Houdini, 2 candles, a book, and handcuffs. They're there for a midnight séance on Halloween, 1946 in Detroit, Michigan." France used to have these public urinals, known as pissoirs. The inauguration of Rebecca Latimer Felton in Georgia in 1922. She became the first woman to serve in the US Senate in 1922. Children are exercising in a schoolyard in the year 1900. An injured dog is in an animal ambulance. This ambulance was used during World War II. A test audience reacting to the chestburster scene in Alien 1979. A Wehrmacht soldier has a cat on top of his helmet, World War II. The British airship R-33 in a hangar in Barlow, Yorkshire, March 1919. A United States Marine gives an interned child candy. This happened on Tinian in the Mariana Islands in 1944. Girls on the Streets of London, late 1950s. Okay, here we go. Women soldiers with gas masks, October 28th, 1942. Nurses take children outdoors to bask in the sunlight, promoting health and well-being, 1939. Okay, here we go. Moving a house using horses, San Francisco, 1908. This was taken using advanced shutter technology in Wisconsin in 1886. Entertainers wearing zoot suits for Hit Parade of 1943. Backbrush, 1947. Seattle, 1961. Okay, here we go. 4 horsemen riding down the streets of Amsterdam during a motorless day. Cars were prohibited because of the oil crisis in 1973. Sean Connery during his time with the Royal Navy in 1946. The shipping department at Macy's in New York in the 1940s. Tesla sitting in front of a spiral coil used in his wireless power experiments at his East Houston Street laboratory, 1896. Alright, let's see. A butcher's shop in High Wycombe, United 938. "15-year-old Johnny Gray confronts one of the 2 white boys who tried to force him and his sister Mary from the sidewalk as they walked to school in Little Rock, Arkansas on September the 16th, 1958. Brunettes and redheads boycott the film Gentlemen Prefer Blondes, 1953. The room was a large space on the ship's D-deck. There were long tables, and the room could seat around 700 people. The walls were painted in a plain white, and the floor was covered in linoleum. There were also simple wooden chairs. The dining room was lit by electric lights. This photo allegedly shows a 28-foot crocodile shot in Australia. Some claim, however, that the size of the crocodile is due to the forced perspective of the camera. Elvis Presley at RCA Victor Studio in New York City on December 1st, 1955, with a guitar he borrowed in order to record early demos.